bike hire program in London officially launched in July 2010. Local residents weren't sure that they wanted the bike hire stations outside their houses. Some shops were worried about the impact it might have on their business. So we had to negotiate to ensure that we were able to get the stations where we wanted them. We've got stations now every 300 to 400 metres in the centre of London. This station is one that we're particularly proud of. The art that you see behind you here is actually part of a Transport for London sponsored project, part of Art on the Underground. When we built this site, we have some storage behind here that was boarded up, so we have different artists featured here, and it's a really popular station and really adds to the area, which would otherwise just be a big blue board behind some bikes. The cost structure is similar to New York. You can buy a 24-hour access or you can buy an annual access as a member. We've actually got a sponsorship from Barclays, who provided several £1 million right at the start and provide every year £5 million for the scheme. But when we first launched, we rolled out with just over 5,000 bikes. We increased that very quickly to 6,000 bikes within the first month or so. For a bike to be stolen, we needed to define it that it's gone for a long period of time. We found that bikes were going missing out of the system for a couple of days, but they would tend to turn up again. It's often not a case of the bike being stolen, it's often the customer not docking the bike properly. The bikes you see are similar to the ones that are in use in New York, so you'll recognise the pattern and the shape of them. Extremely heavy duty, very reliable bike, very stable to use. Before we launched, we heard a lot of people say that they were worried about the impact on injuries, and it's really not been the case. We've got a very low incidence of injuries, I'm pleased to say. The guys in New York, we've spoken to them a fair bit over the last year. I'm not sure they'd really need advice from us, but I think the thing I'd say to them is redistribution is the key. Once you have thousands and thousands of people cycling around, I think the negativity will quickly go away, but that challenge of redistribution won't. I've read some of the things that have been said in New York, and I recognise them from when we were doing the same thing. And placement of the stations is always a challenge at the start because people don't know what to expect. It is difficult, but people don't quite realise the benefits that these stations are going to bring until they see people coming in and out of them. We have historical buildings in London. The best example, the Houses of Commons, is one of the most famous buildings in the world. We have a docking station right outside the House of Commons, and most people think it just adds to the area.